Right. First of all, scalars. We should know there are two types of physical quantities. Okay, physical quantities are of two types. Quantities are of two types. One is scalars, another is vectors. Actually, true, but in 11th class, your class is like we just only that there are two main divisions. Actually, it is not like that. We can divide in many more ways. There are certain quantities which can neither be called as vectors nor as scalars. Actually, all quantities, all physical quantities are tensors. All physical quantities are what? Tensors. Scalars are called as tensors of rank 0, and this is called as tensors of rank vector will be of rank 1. Tensors of rank 1. So these are like ranks. Rank 0, rank 1 tensor, rank 2 tensor will be there, rank 3 tensor will be there. There will be several ranks possible.
And how many tensors?
I will explain. Wait a second. Components. How many components of tensor can be there? A tensor can have components in 3D space. If there is 3-dimensional space, it can have components 3 raised to power n, where n is called as rank of tensor. If it is a scalar, how many components scalar can have? 0 rank.
1, sir.
3 raised to power 0. 1. How many components vector can have?
3, sir.
3, sir.
And this discussion is for 3D space. If I use the relativity theory, then there will be 4-dimensional space. According to Einstein, there is spaces of 4 dimension. Then this does not become 3 raised to power n. Then this become 4 raised to power n. So all the quantities can be classified in general as tensors. Okay, all quantities. So if you are asking me what is a tensor, I will say that it is a general way to classify all the physical quantities. Okay. Scalars are those quantities which are independent of any direction. These have no direction. So because these don't have any direction, it cannot be resolved into components. It is like, for example, if I say time is 2 seconds. Right now, let us say time is 2 seconds. So it is 2 seconds in all directions. Or do I need to say it is 2 seconds west or 2 seconds east? I think if it is 2 seconds, it is 2 seconds, right? So it has no direction. Similarly, any other scalar quantity, you can tell me, for example, distance between A and B. If I say the distance between A and B, then distance is nothing but a scalar quantity only. It will be fixed. It is path length of the path. So length of the path between 2 points will be same. Okay, it will not be dependent on direction. I think if you want to understand what physical quantities mean, let us keep on taking examples. By examples, you will understand better. Before that, I will just formally write the definition of scalar. Scalars are something which have magnitude but no direction. Magnitude without direction. Without any direction. And examples I have to take: example time, and example speed, example distance, example, what other example we have? Time, speed, distance. And it could also be magnitudes of any vectors. Magnitude of any vector will automatically become scalar. If I say magnitude of force, it will be magnitude of velocity. Actually, speed is nothing, but it is magnitude of velocity. So that is only. Then we have some other
density,
like area, volume, density.
So temperature, physical quantity,
very good example. Density, power is also there. Work.
Yes, sir.
Work is there. Power is there. Density is there. Energy is also there.
Energy, sir.
Energy is there.
So can we take temperature, sir?
And is there any other pressure? Temperature, yes, very good. Temperature. because temperature does depend on, if I say certain body has this temperature, then it is independent of direction. Temperature is there. These are certain quantities. Okay. There can be many other quantities which are
Sir,
scalars,
heat is vector,
but
no,
I
sir?
think
Sir,
which one?
but temperature can be negative also, no,
sir.
sir?
One more thing I want to say, that charge can be negative or not.
Yes, sir.
Charge is positive as well as negative. So if
But it
something is
is-
positive and something can be or one more thing, I think you don't know about potential energy and you don't know about work.
Yes, sir. We know,
Potential
sir.
energy can be
Potential
positive.
energy, yes, sir.
It can be negative. Charge can be negative. Potential energy can be negative. Temperature can be in degrees Celsius. It can be
Yes, sir.
negative.
Potential energy
Work
is
can be
negative
negative.
because of G, sir. Gravitational.
What? Because of
MGH.
G.
Small g, sir.
Potential
Acceleration
energy
due
is
to
negative
gravity.
because I will tell you why it is negative. That I will explain later on. But there are many physical quantities which are scalars, but does not mean that they cannot have a negative sign. But here, there is a difference. Sign in front of vector will represent direction, but sign physical quantity will not represent direction. That will not represent, will just represent the nature of charge. Electron has negative charge and the positron has positive charge. So it is not like it has different direction and the other one has different direction. It has no notion of direction. Similarly, if I say potential energy of some quantity is negative, that gives any information about direction. Okay. Temperature can also be negative, but that is not telling us that. So scalars can be negative. Come to vectors. These are quantities which have magnitude as well as direction. These are having magnitude as well as direction. Examples. Example. First of all, I will take example to speed. What is the example corresponding? Velocity, right?
Displacement.
We will represent normally by V vector. Vectors we represent by cap or bar. We represent vector by bar vector. Then I have to represent maybe displacement. Displacement will also be vector, but that will be represented by S bar. Then I will represent force.
Heat.
F
Heat.
bar. Acceleration. What?
Heat, sir.
Heat is a form of energy. All forms of energy. Heat energy, internal energy. All forms of energy are in same category. They are scalars.
Heat have direction.
Heat goes from low temperature.
One
to
more
high
thing I
temperature.
want to say. Wait a second. Current also goes from high potential to low potential. Does not mean that current has direction. Current does not have direction. I will explain what is the reason why direction doesn't matter in that. I will explain. Wait a second.
Current acts like a
Vectors will follow law of
scalar, no, sir.
vectors obey the law of vector addition. So why I'm telling you to wait? Because first of all, you don't even know what is vector. How will I explain what is vector addition right now directly? So you have to wait for some time. You will gradually understand why current is not a vector, although it flows in one particular direction, because these don't obey laws of vector addition. What are the laws of vector addition? That I will explain afterwards. So wait for some time. Acceleration, displacement. One strange thing is area. Area is a vector. That may not look like to many students that area, how it is a vector, but it is a vector actually. Area is a vector. We can take area like a vector. Okay.
Perpendicular to paper as a direction of area.
Yes, direction of area will be perpendicular to the plane of area. Correct. And about other vectors like momentum, you know momentum or not?
Mass into velocity.
Yes, sir.
Momentum, we represent it is mass into velocity.
Mass into velocity.
Do you know momentum and then force and angular momentum or torque? Torque is a vector represented by tau.
Yes, sir.
We represent torque by tau. Angular momentum is also vector.
Velocity.
Angular Momentum is a vector that I will represent by L. Angular velocity is a vector that I will represent by omega. Velocity is a vector. Okay, velocity is a vector. Whatever, that is velocity only or not? So that will have direction.
Just explain why area is a vector.
Wait, just to understand first what are the vectors. We don't even know what and you may why area is a vector. If you know what vector is, then I can explain why area is a vector. Right now, I'm just giving examples and I'm just telling that it has some magnitude as well as direction. That is enough. Now, area can be given direction. If this is area, I can say it has direction upwards, perpendicularly pointing away from it. That can be given to it. There is no problem in providing direction to area. Okay. Angular velocity has direction. Angular velocity also has direction. Let us come to now types of vectors. Types of vectors. If you are thinking that I am not understanding why area is a vector, definitely will not understand it for the timing. Just wait for some time, have patience. Now, if you think that today only I will know area also, torque also, angular momentum also, and angular velocity also, if you know all the vectors today itself, then no need to study in 2 years for physics, because we will study scalars and vectors for 2 years. When rotational mechanics will come, then we will study angular momentum, we will study torque. So some things will be clarified in those times only, gradually. But in general, what vectors in general mean, that I will explain here. And first of all, let me explain the types of vectors. Types of vectors, or maybe wait a second. Before types of vector, I will take representation. Representation of vector. How do we represent it? We represent it by a line, straight line with a direction. Okay, straight line segment we will take, for example, AB, and I will say it is a vector pointing from A to B. AB vector. Another example. What is this vector? The lower one.
CD vector.
The second one is
A vector
CD
pointing
vector.
from C to D.
One example is AB vector. Another example is CD vector. But this is not the only way to represent. This I'm presenting by first telling that the vector lies from which point to which point. But I can also represent in another way without telling the points. I can say it is vector A and the other one is vector B. I'm not telling what does A represent here.
Vector.
A represents A without vector sign. Without vector sign, it will be called as mod of vector.
Magnitude.
You know how to represent mod? Mod, in maths you have done mod, right? Mod like this. We represent mod like this. Mod, modulus. Modulus of vector means modulus of vector A will be just represented by A without that vector symbol above, and it will be nothing but magnitude of vector. Means it will be magnitude of vector without taking care of its direction. It is just magnitude only. Similarly, notice here, this arrow just represents here. This is just a symbol. Now, some students start doing like this. They think B vector is pointing in that direction. So probably it is a mistake. I should have taken in that direction. No, this little symbol is always like this only. It is always like that only. It is just a symbol. It's just telling me this small arrow above. This is just telling me that B is a vector. Okay. If I don't put that arrow and I just write B, then it means It is not vector, but it is magnitude of vector, mod of vector. Okay. Let us say
Sir,
this
one
vector has,
second.
this vector has, keep on listening. At last you will understand, I know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let us say this has length 5 units. Then what is the magnitude of vector? I can say its magnitude is 5 unit. Let us say B has length 4 unit. Then what I will write? B mod. B mod I will write as 4 unit. Mod of B. Can I say B is equal to 4? No, I cannot say B is equal to 4. That thing will be wrong. Can I say mod of B is equal to 4? Yes, I can say mod of B is equal to 4. Because B is a vector. Magnitude of the vector will be given by 4. But total vector cannot be written as 4. Because I can take several vectors which have different directions. One in one direction, another in another direction, third one in third direction. And all I can take of same magnitude. But these vectors will not be called as equal vectors. All are of magnitude 2 units. So I can say A magnitude is equal to B magnitude is equal to C magnitude, because all of these are 2 units. But does it mean, can I say A equal to B equal to C? No,
No,
not
sir.
at all. These are not equal, because 2 vectors will be regarded as equal only and only if not only magnitude wise, but direction wise also they are same. Then only I can say those are equal vectors. I will give one example here. Let us take another vector D. What is the direction of D? Is it same as A or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It is exactly same as A. Therefore, I can say A is not only just magnitude wise equal to D, but A is also equal to direction wise also equal to D. So A and D are equal vectors. What are equal vectors?
Those vectors who have equal magnitude as well as equal direction.
Yes, vectors having same magnitude and same direction. Those are called as equal vectors. If any one of these things is not same, it is not equal. I will give you one more example. Or in fact, I will ask you a question. You tell me which are equal. A, B, C. Which of following vectors are equal? All are of magnitude 2 unit. Magnitude wise, these are equal already.
None, sir.
None.
A is equal to D. Let me take another vector, maybe E. Notice C and E. 2 unit, both are 2 unit, and both are pointing exactly parallel to each other. So E is equal to C. If I take something like B, then I will be taking this way. Let me take exactly parallel. It should be parallel. Is this parallel? Yes. In fact, in order to be 100% right, what I should do, I should take a B vector and I should duplicate it. Now it is definitely, wherever I move it, I am moving it C. Does the vector change if I move it? It remains equal to B only. Oh. If I'm moving this B vector everywhere, does it remain equal to itself or not?
Yes, sir.
It remains equal to itself. But if I rotate, then it will not remain equal to itself. I'm not rotating. I'm just moving it parallelly. So if I move a vector parallelly, then it remains same only. It does not change. F vector is equal to B vector only. Is this point clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Next is unit vector.
Vector whose magnitude is 1 unit, sir.
Exactly. It is a vector of magnitude 1 unit. Now, what is unit? It could be different meter per second. It could be 1 Newton force. So that depends what unit we are taking. But it is the vector of magnitude 1 unit. Representation. How do we represent it? We represent it by cap. Notice this small cap above. We represent it by cap. So I can say A cap is
A bar by magnitude of A bar.
A bar divided by magnitude of A bar. It is unit vector along vector A. So let us take a vector A. What is the magnitude of vector A taken? 2 units. If I divide this by 2 units, then I will be getting a vector of magnitude 1 unit. That will be A cap. Are you seeing this side of the page? This is 2 unit and this is 1 unit, but direction is same. Therefore, it is A cap. Okay. It is a unit vector along A, and it can be found by taking vector divided by its magnitude. I can also do this way, A divided by A, because A is also magnitude of A. I can write equation A is equal to A into A cap. This equation, notice, it will appear strange to some of you, but it is right, valid equation. We are writing A vector, total A vector, is equal to what?
Yes, sir.
Magnitude
A
multiplied
into
by
A cap.
direction.
Yes, sir.
So we can think that A cap just represents direction and A represents magnitude.
Magnitude.
So any vector can be written as magnitude multiplied by its direction. I am not saying that it has no magnitude. It has also magnitude, but its magnitude is just 1 unit. Okay, its magnitude is just 1 unit. Okay.
Then we can remove A cap now, sir. Anything multiplied by 1 itself only no answer.
I cannot say A multiplied by 1 is equal to A multiplied by A cap. It is wrong. And I cannot say A is equal to 1. You are still not understanding. A mod is equal to 1.
Okay, sir.
A mod is equal to 1. A is not equal to 1. Let me clarify this. A mod means magnitude wise it is 1. But A has direction also, no? A has not only magnitude, it has direction, and direction is important. If I do this thing, you want to do like this. You want to do A is equal to A magnitude multiplied by 1. It is equal to A, but it is wrong equation. Reason is I can never compare a vector with magnitude. Vectors should be compared with vectors. We cannot compare vectors with magnitudes.
Sir,
Left quantity is scalar as vector and right side quantity is scalar. I cannot compare these two.
sir,
Yes.
in the equation that you have written, we should have a mod of ENO.
Which equation you are talking about?
That you highlighted one.
Highlighted one? No, it should not be mod of it. It is right. It is right as it is. It is not
but you
mod
said that
of.
magnitude of a vector should be represented by mods.
It is not magnitude then. Who is saying it is magnitude? It is total vector with direction. Direction is there or not? A cap.
No, sir. A vector is equal to A multiplied A cap. No, sir. A should have a mod, I'm saying, sir.
This A you are saying, right?
Yes.
This A of A mod itself is equal to A without vector symbol. If I'm not
Yes.
applying every above vector here, then it is already A. It is already A only. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Understood? Right. Keep on asking, but it is very good. I'm really happy that you are asking. Some of you are asking these doubts. That is how the things will become clarified. Very nice. You are asking these things. Now, I think it will make more clear to you if I say example. I will take example of multiplication. Example of multiplication of a vector by a scalar. If I take this example, things will become very much clear. If I have a vector A and I multiply it by some number, for example, 2 times A, then what it will tell us? I am now copying it and I am pasting it here and I am duplicating it again and I am keeping it here.
Strength is 2 times of the initial.
Yes, exactly. See here, this vector means 2A means it is the total this one.
Yes, sir.
It is
But
A.
it's twice the.
It is also
the
A.
first.
This is 2A. When A and A together are added with each other, or when we multiply A by 2, then we get double the length. So 2A is vector of magnitude. What is the vector of magnitude? Magnitude is 2 times.
Sir,
A.
but the direction of the vector remains same, no, sir?
That's why direction, I'm changing, not changing direction. And direction same as that of A. Here you can notice this example. A, these are pointing towards right, this side, and 2A is also pointing towards the same side. Direction cannot change. If I multiply vector by a scalar, only magnitude gets multiplied, direction doesn't change. Magnitude gets multiplied, but direction doesn't change. Where I wrote magnitude before, modulus of vector, this is magnitude of vector. I forgot to mention one thing here. Let me mention it. Magnitude of vector is equal to length of vector, or we can say it is represented by the length of the vector. Is represented by the length of vector. If I take a vector of bigger length, it means the vector is of bigger magnitude. Okay, so length gives us information about the magnitude. Take one more example. This one. What is it now? If I take,
Yes, sir.
Vector was multiplied 3 times. 3A.
so it is 3A vector. It could be called as another vector. Let it be B vector. Let it be C vector. So C vector is equal to 3 times A. Okay. If I tell what is A cap and what is C cap, can I say A cap is equal to C cap or not?
No, sir.
Yes.
3A cap
I
equal
can
to
say
C
that.
cap.
Not 3A cap is equal to C cap. Completely wrong. A cap has what unit? A cap has 1 unit magnitude or not?
1 unit.
Sir.
And what is the direction of A? Same as that of C. If their direction is same and their magnitude is same, then those two vectors are same only.
Yes.
Those two will be equal only. For example, let us say
Sir,
this was
3 times of
this was A cap. This will be C cap. This will be both same only. Why would this be different?
Sir, C magnitude is different. No, sir.
A is equal to 2a cap, let us say. Then C is what here? 3 times 2a cap. So it will become 6a cap. Now, what will be C cap? You know the formula for C cap is C vector divided by C magnitude. What is C vector? 6a cap divided by C magnitude 6.
A cap, sir.
Each vector I am taking of 2 unit magnitude, let us say, then total 3 times A will become 6 times A cap. So C will also become 6 times A cap. So you notice 6 will cancel 6. What we are getting at last? A cap only.
A cap.
Okay. Their unit vectors will be same only. Their unit vectors will not be different. That will be same because they are pointing in the same direction. And cap represents that they have same magnitude. Pointing in the same direction, cap is representing magnitude also same. Then finally they have to be same. C cap is same as A cap. Similarly, I could say B cap is also same as A cap. B cap will also be same as A cap. Next, multiplying by negative. Multiplying by negative number. What will happen if I multiply by a negative number?
Direction opposites becomes opposite, sir.
Yes, right. Direction will not be same. If A is this side, then minus A will be opposite side arrow. Length will remain same. Arrow will be different now. If I say minus 2A, if I say minus 2A, then that will be starting from this to this side. Minus 2A. So, what happens by multiplying by a negative number?
Direction becomes reverse.
Magnitude gets
Direction changes.
Remains same,
It
direction
will become
changes.
opposite direction.
Magnitude gets multiplied by the number and direction gets reversed. And direction gets reversed. Direction becomes opposite. Direction becomes opposite. 180 degree opposite it is. It is called as 180 degree opposite. Multiplying by fraction. What will happen if I multiply by a fraction? It is A. If I multiply by 1 by 2A.
The magnitude decreases.
Yes, it will become 1 by 2 means half. This will be 1 by 2A. If I take 1 by 3, it will become 1/3. 1 by 3A. Okay. So that happens when we multiply by fraction. Now, what is zero vector? What happens if I multiply a vector by 0? This is also zero vector actually is called as I think null vector is better because zero we don't use. We don't normally call it as null vector.
It has zero magnitude.
Zero magnitude. When magnitude is 0, then direction doesn't matter.
Indeterminate.
Direction indeterminate, yes, or arbitrary. We use arbitrary word. Indeterminate is also the right thing only. Arbitrary. Zero magnitude and arbitrary direction or indeterminate direction. We can't specify. We can take any direction, means doesn't matter. We can take any direction.
Sir?
Yes.
That means null vector will be equal to almost all vectors.
Null vector will be equal to almost?
Nothing, sir. Sorry.
Null vector is 0. It is just 0 only. Zero vector.
Sir, what is arbitrary direction?
Arbitrary means not specified. We could take any direction. Doesn't matter. We could take any direction. Okay.
Okay.
Means I can give you one example. If I say there is a vector A like this and vector B like this. And if I say I want to take a vector of 7 unit magnitude along A. How to take a vector of 7 unit magnitude along A? Vector of 7 unit magnitude along A will be given as 7A. How to take vector of 0 unit magnitude along A? 0 unit magnitude along A. What that will be? That will be equal to 0 into A cap. What will be vector of 0 unit magnitude along B? I can write it as 0 B cap. But I mean to say, if it is a null vector only, then it doesn't matter I take 0 A cap or 0 B cap. I could say then this direction is arbitrary. Means even if I'm writing it as 0 A cap, but I may write it as 0 B cap also. These both will be equal. 0 A cap can be written as 0 B cap. That can be written as 0 into some other vector C cap. Because it is 0, so it doesn't matter. All these will be same only. Okay. It is already 0 only. So no difference at all. It cannot have any one particular direction. We could take any direction. That doesn't matter now. But it will matter as long as magnitude is written. 7A cannot be written as 7B cap. 7A cap is not 7B cap, but 0A cap can be written as 0B cap. No problem in that. Okay.
Sir, can we represent null vector? Can we represent?
No, we can't represent. How to represent? You tell me. Vector is represented by the length of the vector represents what? The length of vector represents magnitude. So what should be the length of the null vector? Null vector I can represent by a point. I can represent null vector by just point. I cannot represent it by a length. Okay. Right. Next we have null vector, and then negative of vector, fraction multiplied, these things,
Any null vector is equal to each other, sir.
What?
Any null vector is equal.
Yes, all null vectors are equal only. All null vectors are equal. Equality of vectors. I discussed before. Did I discuss before or not?
No, sir.
Unit vector equal. Yes, I have discussed already. Two vectors will be equal when they have equal magnitude as well as equal direction. Right. This is discussed already. Now we can take special unit vectors. Special unit vectors. Till now, if a vector is along A, then it will be represented by A cap. If a vector is along B, then it will be represented by B cap. But there are certain special unit vectors I cap, which are only along the axis. X axis, Y axis, and Z axis. Any vector of 1 unit magnitude, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, minus 1, minus 2. Any vector of 1 unit magnitude which is along x-axis, that will be regarded as I cap. I cap. Vector of 1 unit magnitude which is along y-axis, J cap. Vector of 1 unit magnitude which is along z-axis, K cap. So special unit vectors are I cap, J cap, K cap. You may ask me that if it is along x-axis, shouldn't we take it as x cap, y cap, and z cap? According to me, there will not be much problem if we take that way also, x cap, y cap, and z cap. There will not be much problem. But it is just a convention. Means some people started taking it IJK, so we are taking it like IJK. Although some books will take x cap, y cap, and z cap also.
These are
but
just a representation of vectors. No,
just a representation, so it doesn't matter. I cap is just a unit vector. What is I cap? I cap is just representing unit vector along
x-axis.
Positive also represent positive x-axis. along positive x-axis. If it is along negative x-axis, then it is minus I cap. Similarly, j cap is unit vector along positive y-axis, and k cap is unit vector along positive z-axis. So if I say I have a vector 2I cap, what does it tell you? What does it mean? It has 2 unit magnitude, and it is pointing in which direction? Pointing in which direction?
X-axis.
X-axis. I will draw a vector here. You have to tell me what is the vector represent, what is the vector means? X, Y, Z, let us say it is there. First, I will give example with 2I cap. 1 unit, and I am taking a line parallel to x-axis. If I am taking a line parallel to x-axis, then it means it has same direction as that of x-axis. And what is this magnitude here? 2 unit. So I can say it is 2I cap. Can I say it is 2I cap or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It is 2I cap. But there is another boy, and he is saying it is not 2I cap. He is saying 2I cap is if I take on the axis only. Who is right? Which is 2I cap? If I take on axis only, or if I take here, or both?
Both are same, sir.
Both are same. These are equal vectors. We know already by equality of vectors that a vector, when shifted parallel to itself without changing the direction, that vector remains same. This is 2I cap. The other one is also 2I cap. No problem in that. Now you tell me, based on this information, you tell me, what is vector B?
2j cap.
2j.
B is equal to 2j cap. Very good. Exactly right. And now you tell me, what is vector C? Green vector. It is parallel to z-axis, so it is definitely representing vector of 3 unit magnitude, direction k cap, 3k cap, right? Sorry, my mistake. I have not taken parallel properly. It is my mistake. Wait a second, just. When I am taking parallel, then I have to be careful. Like this, I have to take. Means it should be parallel to x-axis, this line. This line is parallel to x-axis. This line is also parallel to x-axis. Are you noticing? These lines are parallel to x-axis. Then I am taking this now. I can say this is 1 unit here up to this, then 2 units, and then it is becoming magnitude 3 units. Now you can say C is equal to 3k cap. Okay. So you understand now very well unit vectors. There are other special unit vectors which you may not be knowing. Other are do you know that we have polar coordinate system? Polar coordinate system. You don't know about it. I will explain what it means. If I have a point in space, I can represent that point as x, y, x and y coordinates. But I can also say that has theta coordinates. If I in terms of r and theta, then r will be distance from O to P will be equal to r up to that point P. What will be theta representing here? Theta will be representing angle between
x-axis and OP.
OP vector and positive x-axis and positive x-axis taken in anti-clockwise direction. So if I just give you and theta, can you the point or not? Can you locate the point if I give you r and theta, but I don't give you x and y?
Yes, sir.
I will give you r and theta, and you locate the point. Let me tell you. Vector is point is at a distance 5 unit. Point is at a distance 5 unit from origin, and it is making an angle 37 degrees with positive x-axis. Now you tell me what are the x and y coordinates?
X coordinate 4, sir. Y coordinate
4,3, sir.
OX upon P will be written as cos 31 degrees. Because triangle OXP, observe this triangle. So OX is also x coordinate, and that is equal to OP into cos 37 is 4 by 5. But OP was equal to R, or OP was equal to 5. So we are getting 4 unit. What is x coming out to be? 4 unit. Similarly, take triangle OYP, and in that triangle take OY upon OP, which is also equal to PX upon OP. Is it right? Yes, PX upon OP. What is PX upon OP? PX upon OP will be
4 by 5.
Not 4. PX upon OP is 3 by 5.
3 by 5.
What is PX then?
Y coordinate.
PX is y coordinate, so I can write y coordinate upon OP. OP is nothing but R, that is 5, is equal to 3 by 5. So y is equal to 3. So some students said very quite at the same time only when I asked this question, they were knowing it already, that we can represent it as 4,3 if R is given and angle is given. In general, there is a formula. If it is R and this is theta, then
R cos
x
theta
coordinate can be x is R cos theta, correct? And y is R sin theta. So
R
its
sin
coordinates,
theta.
if it is R comma theta, this also implies x coordinate is R cos theta and y coordinate is R sin theta. We can convert this Cartesian polar coordinate system and polar coordinate system to Cartesian coordinate system. This is in polar coordinates. And the second one is Cartesian coordinates. We can convert polar to Cartesian form anytime. Anyway, what will be unit vector in polar coordinate systems? Those will not be x, y, z, because in polar coordinate systems, we don't even take x and y. X and y we take in which coordinates? Cartesian coordinates. In polar coordinate system, we will just take R. Any vector which is along R will be regarded as unit vector. Any unit vector which is along the R direction will be regarded as R cap. Reason is simple reason. R vector divided by R magnitude will be R cap. Okay. How do we represent a vector which is along the tangent to the circle? That is represented by theta cap. How will I represent it? Theta cap. Theta cap is unit vector along tangent to circle. It is unit vector along the tangent to the circle. Magnitude is 1 unit only, but it is tangent to the circle. And in which direction it is? Direction I have taken always from x-axis moving in which direction? Moving in anti-clockwise direction. Therefore, theta I have taken this side. Somebody may ask me why I'm not taking theta in this direction. Because by convention, we are taking theta angle to be in anti-clockwise direction. Okay. Fine. These are the unit vectors. Special unit vectors also done. And what is the relation between? Okay. Relation between r cap and that, sorry, relation I will get after some time. Just wait for some time. I think now before getting the relation, I should take resolution of vectors. Resolution of vectors.
Sir, the physics which you tell
Resolution
is of NCERT only, no, sir, or any other?
The physics, this topic you are talking about, or which topic? This topic only?
The whole this year and next year.
No, not NCERT. What are you talking about? Why? If I just tell NCERT only, then you can read at home from NCERT and that will be enough.
Yes, sir.
Not NCERT, not NCERT, not any book in fact. Not confined to any one particular book.
Okay, sir.
Okay. It will be combination from several books like NCERT, H.C. Verma, Erudov, and many other books. And not only that, there will be some things which will be completely only from me only. Those will not be in any other books. Okay, some books, some will be like that also. Anyway, although these are basic topics only. So because basic topics will be common, these will be everywhere like that only. But in general, when the topics will become sometimes difficult, there will be some unique things which I will be telling you originally from myself only, and those will not be in any other book, not in any other notes. Okay, there will be some things like that also. But not for these. These are common topics. So this will be everywhere similar only. Resolution of vectors. Resolution of vectors means if I have a vector, let us say A, and I want to resolving also implies taking x and y coordinates. Taking x and y coordinates of this. So what are the x and y coordinates of the tip of the vector which starts from the origin? Can you determine the x and y coordinates of the vector? If it is theta.
Sir, y-axis a cos theta, a sin theta, sir.
I think you are right. This along x-axis will be OX upon OP will be cos theta. So OX will be OP into cos theta. But what is OP? A. So A cos theta is AX. Okay. What about OY? OY divided by OP will be equal to sin theta. So OY will be equal to OP into sin theta, which can be written as A sin theta. And I can represent OY as AY. I can call it as AY. What AY represents here? This Y means Y component. This X means X component. AX means X component of A. AY means Y component of A vector. Okay. AX and AY. AX and AY are X and Y components of vector A. AX and AY are X and Y components of vector A.
Sir, it can be written as A cos theta, A cap plus A sin theta, J cap, no, sir?
You very good. You are exactly saying it right. I was about to come to that, but you said before me only. I'm very happy to see that, you know. OP vector. Let me explain to others slowly. Okay. For others, I'm explaining in this way. This is OP vector. Let us say this. Okay. Do you know displacement is a vector or not?
Yes, sir.
Displacement is a vector.
Yes, sir. Displacement is a vector.
If I go from O to P, then whether I go directly or I go in such a complicated path and I reach P. But finally, displacement is this only, O to P. Displacement will always be the shortest distance between 2 points. Okay. So if I have to go from O to P and I am going by O to X and then X to P, then sum of these two, sum of OX plus, O to X plus X to P can be regarded as O to P. O to X plus X to P can be regarded as O to P. So I'm writing it in this way. OP is equal to OX plus XP, which can be written as AX vector plus AY vector. That is equal to A vector. What is AX vector? AX vector will be AX magnitude, but direction is along I cap because it is along X axis. AY is AY magnitude, but direction is along J cap. So as that boy said, it is right. I can write A vector as AX I cap plus AY J cap. What this procedure is called, in which we represent A in terms of its components. This procedure is called as resolution of vectors. This is called as resolution of vectors.
How? How you written OP equals to OX plus XP?
I said if I'm going from O to P, then it means I'm going from O to X and X to P. Effectively, it is same thing as going from O to X and X to P. Okay. I know it is not that plus which you are thinking. It is not that plus. For example, if it is 5 unit and it is 3 unit and it is, let us say, 4 unit, it is not 3 plus 4 equal to 5. 3 plus 4 cannot be 5. Can this be 5?
No, sir.
No. So therefore, I can't say this thing. AX plus AY is not equal to A. Means magnitude wise 3 plus 4 is not equal to 5. Magnitude wise, these are not equal to 5.
Magnitude is square.
If I have to write magnitude wise, then it will be AX square plus AY square under the root.
Yes, sir.
So, but while I'm writing in this way, that represents that sum of this with this is giving us this only. Okay. Means it is not, it does not mean that I am representing it as a magnitude here. It is not magnitude sum. It is not sum of magnitude. If I have to take a vector and I have to add another vector to it, vector A, if I have to add with vector B, then I will be starting from the tail of the first vector to the head of the last vector. This will be the resultant. This is how we write R is equal to A plus B. Okay. So you understand that this plus is not same as the ordinary plus, because in ordinary plus, what we do? We take magnitude wise and we add and we get the resultant. It is a plus which gives us sum of two sides of a triangle, and that becomes equal to the third side of a triangle. It is that operation. It is the operation by which we get the sum of two sides of triangle, and that becomes equal to the third side of triangle. Okay. Is it understood?
Sir, once again explain that.
Okay, wait a second. Let me say it is new symbol A, B. R is equal to AB. It is not plus at all. It is some operation by which we give two sides of the triangle and we get the third side of triangle. Is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
It is some strange operation. It is some strange operation. It is different thing that we represent this operation also by plus. We represent this operation by plus, and I will give you, you will understand why we represent it by plus. Because in many places it acts in the same way, the way ordinary plus acts. We can do algebra with this. We can do algebra the way we do algebra with plus. For example, if I say A plus B is equal to C, what A becomes? A becomes equal to C minus B. That we do or not. Normally 3 plus 4 is equal to 7. What 3 is equal to? 3 is equal to 7 minus 4. So although this plus is not same plus as we do normally, it is different. It is a new operation. I could have given a symbol for very simple different for this. For example, I could have given maybe new symbol like this also, that if I take side A and I do a operation, this hash operation on it with B, then I get a new vector which is R. And what is that vector? That vector is representing the third side. If I take two sides of a triangle and I do the operation hash in between them, then I get the third side. You think in that way. Now, what this operation is, we will come to know what this operation is, what it does to those vectors. They will see that later on. Don't worry about it. We will come to know all these things. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. It is just a operation, but this operation very much acts like normal plus and plus only. So we don't have to worry that much. Actually, how we get R? We get R by this way. Wait, I think I should. I'm coming back to this where we were. Resolution of vectors. I can represent a vector in this way. What will be magnitude of A? Magnitude of A will be AX square plus AY square under the root. Are you satisfied with this?
Yes, sir.
Is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Right. Similarly, now I will just use an argument that the thing which I have done for 2 dimension, same thing I can do for 3 dimension. If
Sir,
I have
once
x-axis,
go to that page where you wrote that formula, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That down, sir. Yes, sir.
it is Pythagoras theorem. This last formula comes
Yes,
from
sir. Pythagoras theorem. Yes, sir.
Okay. Understood now?
Yes, sir.
Next I am taking a cuboid. Can you draw a cuboid properly? It is slightly tough to draw. I will try cuboid. This actually should be a practice to draw the cuboids. You know what is the method to draw cuboid? How I draw it? I will take lines parallel to x-axis and parallel to y-axis and parallel to z-axis. Then that will automatically come. Take one line parallel to z-axis, another line parallel to z-axis, then one line again parallel to y-axis, then line parallel to z-axis, this way. Does it look like cube now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You just draw lines on that, sir. It will become a real cuboid.
If I draw the lines, then it will become a cuboid. But actually, mainly my main aim was to draw a vector starting from origin to the corner point here. That is our vector which I want to draw now, OP. This OP vector, if I take this plane is XZ plane. If I take a component of OP along XZ plane, can you tell me what is this angle here?
90 degrees.
Is it 90 sure?
Sir, no.
No, sir. Not 90.
90 minus theta, sir.
Yes, sir.
90 degrees.
Okay, let us do one thing. It is vertical line. What is it? Vertical axis. Axis, horizontal axis. That is horizontal axis. All of you are sitting in in a cuboidal room or not?
Yes, sir.
Even if you are not sitting in a cuboidal room, can you imagine yourself sitting in a cuboidal room? If you are sitting in a cuboidal room, then imagine you are somewhere in between. This is which wall? This is which wall? This wall. Front wall. Can you imagine it to be front wall?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And this wall is which wall? Tell me. You are sitting inside. Now tell me,
Side wall.
according to you,
Left wall.
left wall. It is left.
Wall, sir.
Left wall.
This one?
Right one. Right wall.
Right wall. And this one, which wall?
Back side.
Backside wall. Back wall.
Yes.
So once you know this wall is backside wall, do one thing now. Take that take the front right bottom faces. Those are touching at one point, that corner. Can you see that corner in your room? This corner?
Yes, sir.
Which is now
Yes,
this
sir.
corner is joined with which corner? This corner is joined with this corner. This corner is touching which wall?
Top corner.
This corner is touching
Back
left
side.
wall,
Left,
backside wall,
backside,
wall,
and top.
Down.
and bottom.
Bottom. Floor.
It is bottom corner, not top corner. This one, this point here is bottom corner.
Yes, sir.
This is top corner. P point is top corner. P point is top corner in the back side. Okay. Where is P point? P point is top, back side, and right side, where these three walls are meeting. Top, back, right corner. That is point. Is it okay? Can you understand? This is top, back, right corner. Back
Yes,
wall,
sir.
right wall, and top. Top means ceiling, where the fan is there. That one is top. Okay. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Then now imagine
Yes.
this thing, and now again answer the same question. This line, let me represent more points. O, X, Y, Z, and maybe what should I call the remaining points now? Maybe just I will represent A, B, C. Now tell me, what is the angle between OC and CP?
90 degrees.
OC is the face diagonal. OC is the
90
face
degrees.
diagonal or not? Face diagonal, and one side will be having, this side and face diagonal will be having 90-degree angle.
Yes, sir.
Have you understood now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And also tell me, what is this angle here? Angle between one side wall, one side and the other side, this side. This angle between two sides.
90 degrees.
90 degrees.
Degrees. Very good. Now you are understanding it exactly the way I want you to understand. So let us call this AX. Which is AX here? Length OX. O to X length is AX. O to Y length is AY. And O to Z length is AZ. Okay. Now, if I have to represent OP vector, then OP vector I can write as, what is OP vector? OP vector is, if I go from O to X, think in
X I cap
X I
plus
cap
AY
plus
Z
X
cap.
plus
X to C. Listen one thing again, some boys who were thinking how I am doing this plus. This plus does not mean anything. It simply means first I am going from, okay, let me do in another way. Let us say this is Vijayawada, this is Delhi, and this is, let us say, Mumbai. I am going from Vijayawada to Mumbai and Mumbai to Delhi. Then I can write it in short form. How mathematicians will write it? Mathematicians will write it this way. Vijayawada to Mumbai, flight went, then went from plus, from Mumbai to Delhi. Then the person reached from where to where? Person reached from Vijayawada to Delhi. What it means? It simply means person reaches from Vijayawada to Delhi. If he first goes from Vijayawada to Mumbai, and plus means then plus means like then he goes from Mumbai to Delhi. Then overall the person goes from which to which place? Overall person goes from Vijayawada to Delhi. You think like that. So you think these plus signs means then you think in that way. So from O to X, we from X to C. We went from C to P. Overall, we went from where to where? Overall, we went from O. Is it okay? Are you understanding this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I want to get the relation between these. These three are, what are these three? These three are three components. One is X component. One is XC. What is XC equal to? XC was equal to, I think, XC, X to C is equal to O to Z, because these two are parallel or not?
Yes, sir.
O to Z is parallel to X to C. So I can replace XC by OZ. Similarly, what about CP? CP I can replace by OY. Observe. Right? So I can write CP as OY. What does it become then? It becomes AX. OX was AX. OZ was OZ was not AY. OZ was AZ. And what is OY? OY was AY. What is OP? OP is the resultant vector. We can call OP as A vector. So again, what I have done so far, I am revising it again. First of all, we imagined a cube. The body diagonal of the cube is representing, starting from the origin to the opposite back top corner. That one is representing the body diagonal. The length of the body diagonal is A. What is the length of the body diagonal? A unit. Okay. Okay, this is the length of the body diagonal. What I want to do, I want to find out the length of body diagonal in terms of sides of the cube lengths. Can you write the length of the body diagonal in terms of the sides of the cube? Can you do that? What is the length of the body diagonal in terms of AX, AY, and AZ?
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir. In
Yes.
diagram, the angle between OC and CP 90 degrees, no, sir.
Yes, you are right. OC and CP is 90 degree, correct only.
Why, sir?
Why? You are sitting in a room and this is the face diagonal of the bottom face diagonal. You are sitting on the floor. If you connect one corner from the other corner of the floor, it is that corner, that side, diagonal side, okay? And in this diagonal,
Yes.
take the wall where two walls are meeting. That is vertical, right? What is
Yes,
the angle
sir.
between a vertical line and this horizontal line? 90 degree or not?
90 degrees. Okay.
So, right, it is 90
Thank
only.
you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Understood? This is also 90. This one is also 90. Both are 90.
Okay, sir.
So what we are getting OP is equal to OC square plus CP square under the root. What is OC here? OC can be written as OX square plus XC square under the root. Is it right or not?
Yes, sir.
Right? So I can say what will be OP finally? OP will become OC square. OC square will be OX square plus XC square plus CP square. That is finally OP. OP is also a vector, magnitude of a vector. That I can write as OX square. What is XC? What is XC equal to?
OZ.
X to C vector is equal to O to Z vector. What is third one is OX is done. OX is already CP. What is CP? CP vector is equal to
OY.
OY.
O to Y vector.
OY.
OZ vector is AZ and OY vector is AY. And OX vector is AX. Then what we are getting at last, what we are getting the resultant, A we are getting as OX square plus OZ square plus OY square under the root, which is AX square plus AZ square plus AY square under the root, that is A. So what is A coming out to be? AX square plus AY square plus AZ square under the root. What is A? If you want to say, sir, say it again. Let us say somebody is asking, sir, say it again. Let me tell you what one thing we have done in this. Not much, except just one thing we have done. That is side the length of body diagonal. Length of body diagonal of a cuboid. Or I can say square of length. Square of length of body diagonal of a cuboid equals sum of squares of 3 sides. Sum of square of 3 sides. 3 which sides? 3 concurrent sides. 3 sides which are meeting at the same point. 3 sides. 3 concurrent sides. Now you tell me, do you agree with this statement or not?
Yes, sir.
Square
Yes,
of
sir.
length of a body diagonal of the cuboid is equal to sum of squares of 3 concurrent sides. You agree with this statement, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now let us say I have a vector OP. What will be its 3 components? 3 components will be AX, AY, and AZ. If I know the 3 components, I can always get the length of that OP. Can I always get the length or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. That is what we are going to do now. That is what we are going to do. We will be doing always that. For example, I have a vector A. Vector A is ax I cap plus ay j cap. And I have a vector B. Vector B is bx I cap plus by j cap. Can you tell me what will be magnitude of A plus B? It will be ax I cap plus ay j cap plus what I have to add in this? I have to add in this bx I cap plus by j cap. What we get then? We are getting ax plus bx whole into I cap plus ay plus by whole into j cap. That is A plus B. What will be magnitude? This is A plus B vector. I will take magnitude afterwards. A plus B. Let us call A plus B resultant. Let me write it heading here. Resultant of two vectors. Resultant of two vectors A and B. Resultant of two vectors A and B. That is R, and it is given by A plus B. Resultant we call if R is equal to the result A plus B, then it is called as resultant. What is resultant of two vectors? That I have to obtain here.
You can just add the X components on the.
I can always see what I have done from here to here, how I got from here to here. I have added AX with BX and
Yes,
I cap
sir.
I have taken common.
Common.
Because these were pointing in the same direction. J cap pointing in the same direction. Add J cap together. The vectors along J cap, those I have to add together. Can we add these like normal addition or not? Yes, we can add these like normal addition. Why? I gave you example in the beginning that if I have a vector pointing along x-axis and another vector pointing along x-axis, if both are already pointing along x-axis, one has magnitude 3 unit and the other has magnitude 5 unit. Then what will be the total resultant?
8 unit.
3 plus 5. That is equal to 8.
Unit.
It means it is, let us say 3a cap, 5a cap, it will become 8a cap. Means there is no problem. It is acting like normal addition. There is no problem. When there will be problem? There will be problem if one is along I cap, other is along j cap. One is, let us say 3 unit along I cap and other is 4 unit along j cap. And if I want to find out the resultant now, resultant means starting of how to understand what is meaning of resultant. I told you always think like that. You go from A to B and you go from B to C. Indirectly, you went from where to where? Indirectly, you went from A to C. So A to C is the net effect of your going from A to B and then going from B to C. Therefore, A to C is the resultant of vectors. A to C is resultant of which vectors? It is resultant of A to B and B to C vectors. Is it understood? But it does not mean that I can write 3i cap plus 4 as 8. No, it is wrong. I cannot write it as 8 because one is along I cap, one is along j cap. Then the rule will be different. What will be the rule for that case? For that case, the rule is R will be equal to 3 square plus 4 square under the root. That is the rule. And that is equal to 5. Understood or not? Okay. Same thing we are doing here now. This I can add normally. This I can add normally. But when it is I cap, j cap, then I will do now this thing. AX plus BX whole square plus AY plus BY whole square under the root. That I will do now. That is the resultant. Okay. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Do one question. You will let us see whether you can do the question or not. A is given as 2i cap plus 3j cap and B is given as 4i cap minus 2k cap. Here k cap is also there. Don't forget k cap is also there. Find resultant A of A and B? What is resultant of A and B? Tell me.
Minus 2k.
6 I cap plus 3 J cap minus 2
minus
K cap.
2 K cap.
Find the magnitude of resultant now. Magnitude will be
7
square.
units.
Square plus A square.
No need to take minus because minus 2
7,
square is
sir.
also
Square
that
will
only.
be
So it is coming
7, sir.
7 it is
36, 9, 4.
7, sir.
7 units. So resultant is of 7 units. This is how we can always get the resultant. Let me ask a difficult question. Let us see if we can get resultant now or not. A person went from origin to A point, and then he went to no, not like this. Sorry. A person went from origin to point A, and then he went to point B. This is making an angle theta. Person always remains in XY plane. First, he covers the distance equal to 3 unit, and then he covers the distance equal to 4 unit. Can you find out what is the resultant R? From where to where person went?
5, sir.
Effectively, person went from where to where? O to B.
5, sir.
O to B.
O to B. Not 5. I know that you will be saying something wrong. It is theta here.
Theta value, sir.
It is not 90 degrees. It is not right angle to triangle. How are you using the formula Pythagoras theorem? It is not 90 degrees. It is not right angle triangle. It is some other angle. It is theta. You want theta value? Let me give theta value then. Theta is, I think then I should ask some easy question. It will become tough if I give some other theta. Let me give it 5 then. I'm not giving 4. I'm giving 5 and I'm giving it as 37 degrees. Now it will be easy. Tell me what is resultant R.
4, sir.
5, sir.
No, not 4. Not 4.
7. Root 58.
Sir, it's 5.
Root 58.
Root 58.
Sir, root 58.
Let us check once now. How much the person overall went along x-axis? How much the person went along x-axis?
7 I cap.
7 I cap.
7, 8.
I have to take component of 5 along x. So I will be getting 5 cos 37 degrees, which is equal to 4. And what is this length? This length is 5 sine 37 degrees, which is equal to 4. Now I can get a right angled triangle here. Can I get a right angled triangle?
Sir, sine 37
Yes, sir.
no, sir.
Sine 37.
3 sir, 5 sin 37.
3, sir.
3.
Yes, sir.
Then I'm getting 3 plus 4 is along I cap plus 3 is along J cap. But this is direction wise. I want only magnitude. How will be the magnitude then? 7 square plus 3 square under the root, that is root 58.
8.
That is the answer.
Root 58.
That is right. But what was the procedure here? What procedure we followed? Here we did something. I don't know you have noticed or not, but we have done resolution of vectors. Think of resolution of vectors.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Writing a vector in terms of components. Writing a vector in terms of its components. Which vector I had to write in terms of its component?
Resultant.
Yes, resultant. But this vector was making what angle here? Theta. And what was its magnitude? 5 unit. Theta was 37 degrees.
37 degrees.
I have taken component of this vector. I have just taken the component of this vector. Right or not?
Yes, sir.
What will be the component of this vector? It is x-axis, y-axis. What will be one y component? What will be one x component?
X component is 5 cos theta. Y
Sir,
component
5 cos 37 plus 5 sin 37.
Not plus. Wrong. You are again saying directly plus. He's saying 5 cos 37 and he's writing plus 5. What you are saying? Plus 5 sin 37?
So 537 I cap plus 5
I cap plus 5
I cap is important. J cap is important. This I cap reminds, this I cap and J cap reminds that here I have to square and then add. If I don't put I cap and J cap, then nobody will be reminding me that here I have to square and then add. Then we will be thinking it is like normal addition only. So this I cap and J cap are important here. These are important. Okay. So sir, what it is? Yes.
Sir, I have an exam, so can I leave the meeting, sir? Like,
you have exam? Which exam?
Yes, sir. School exam, sir.
Okay. Then let us do one thing. Let us end this class here itself. Tomorrow we will continue. Okay, I am ending it now.
Okay, sir.
Tomorrow we will continue.
Okay, the notes in classrooms.
Yes, I will put the notes. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.